Hi, welcome to Perspective Vlogs X Lakers-fandom. Um, the title, you see the title, Lakers, are they taking a risk? Um, Maybe I worded the title uh, differently the on the title that appears down on YouTube. Um, this is broadcasting that I'm going to have to do it differently or just link something to um, Twitter because right now I am not using the premium version of Melon. But for what I know of, it's cheaper than StreamYard. So I'll eventually get to that. But for now, and you can see the free version is pretty good. It's pretty good. Um, so let's talk about that for a second. Draft came and went, and some interesting stuff happened. And so I'm gonna start uh, asking two questions. Will the Lakers fill up with young players? So write on the comments if you are not watching this live, which let me see. So if you're not watching this live, you can still comment on it, and I will get back to you. Um, but the other is, will LeBron like this, right? And so some interesting things that happened. I was a little bit against Max Christie as a player, uh, but I talked to some people that cover the NBA, and all of them assured me that the 32% three-point shooter is not the uh, usual statistic for this kid, who is 19, by the way, and it's more like 36 or over. Um, and I wonder if that could be a little bit higher because of the season of the 32 uh, percent. But he is a very good defensive player. And so it goes with the philosophy of Darvin Ham. And I think that should be something that people uh, should talk about, you know, because you should consider that's what I mean when you look and analyze this. Max Christie can stretch the floor. His shooting has a very, very good form. He There's some little things he's got to tweak a little bit, but his shooting is great. The form, uh, the arc that he uses to shoot, and the high release maybe needs to tweak a little bit. That could develop easily because his jump shot is his his arm, instead of being like that, is like that, which is how you should uh, shoot the ball. Um, his vertical is either a vertical shot or and his feet land where he need to land, right in front, wherever he is from the rim. And those are things that if you are a good shooter, they're going to pay off if you do that. That makes you a better shooter than whatever you are before that. A lot of people start shooting this way. That's not the way you shoot the ball. And so enough with the class of how to shoot. Um, One of the things that is important about that is the defense first for Darvingham. Now, for what I know, this is a full contract because the two-way contracts are actually Cole Sweeter and Scottie Pippen Jr. And I learned today, actually watching Lakers Nation, that the father, Scottie Pippen, the one that that we know, is actually legally is Scottie in the way the son is not, i.e., as everybody knows, his father, uh, Scottie Pippen Sr., is why the same as it's spelled the sons legally. But apparently, somewhere, somebody started calling writing him Scotty with IE at the end, and he just kept it that way. So, okay. But before we go to the two-way contracts, I think the better minimum and the mid and the mid the mid season level. That's not what I want to say. The $6 million. I think they should concentrate in centers, and you see, the two-way market is going to be thin. That's why I wouldn't mind if they trade Russell Westbrook, which is a big if right now. That I don't mind to get to do the the trade with the Hornets, because they get two wing players, and so they are starting to realize that, because um, these guys are kind of, I mean, um, Cole Sweeter is 6'9". He says he's 6'10", so I don't know. Maybe with shoes off, it's 6'9". I don't know. But he is a 3-point specialist, so he's going to stretch the floor. And I think he's good because, for example, um, the philosophy of the Bucks, which is the philosophy that Darvingham is going to implement. It's one of the things about that philosophy is that they have a player in the dunker spot who could be a passer or a scorer. Many times, that's Giannis' main position. He's on the dunker spot, and if people double him, you are going to see the center coming from the opposite side, and either coming from the opposite side to get the rebound, or to shoot the three. So let's say LeBron or AD are on the dunker spot. Even Russell Westbrook could be there, just probably a little bit more into the free throw shooting area, almost like a 5 out. If somebody double him, usually it's going to be from the weak side. So they can do basically a hammer play, which is named after Darvin Ham, and end up having the perimeter shooter who's going to be the center, or the depending, it could be the power forward on the free throw line, and if it's like Cole Sweeter, 3-point specialist, he's going to make that shot. Now, because one thing about Cole Sweeter is that he is over 40% 3-point shooter every year, either 40 or 41 every year in college. So he's an excellent shooter. He is right on. Now, the defense of Sweeter is the one thing I don't know about. He is. They use was it Villanova or Vanderbilt for Coach Jay Wright, and now I don't know who the coach is now, but I know that they use a lot of zones. So zones mask poor defenders. So I'm not saying he is a poor defender. I just don't know. So for me, it's a question mark, and you can you can talk to me about that. He says that he's a rebounder too, so that's good. He is what we wanted Kuzma to be, basically. Not yet at the NBA level. We don't know. We don't really know. That's a question mark, but he's inspired by stories like HBK, Alex Caruso, people that started in the G League and were kind of undrafted. I'm sorry, and went from undrafted to get NBA contracts. He even used Mason Jones and others that have done well in the G League and had opportunities in the NBA. So he looks motivated, and that's a good thing about Cole Sweeter, that he looks like he wants to prove something. Now, Scottie Pippen, his shooting needs some tweak, but he's a defensive guy. He is that's one thing he is a bucket getter, but he needs to work on his shoot after a curl. Curling for him is not the best shooting. He's more like a self-creating shot maker. But his defense, he comes from a pedigree of his dad, Scottie Pippen, who was a defensive specialist. And I can't say that he's as good as his dad, but I can say that he's pretty good. And that everything that goes on the passing lanes, has a very good chance to end up on his hands on the defensive end. So now there is another move, and I don't know if the Lakers right now are probably selecting more undrafted people, inviting them to the summer league, oh, so forth. But they have Sharif O'Neal. I think, and I agree with Shaq, his dad, that he should have stayed in college. He doesn't look developed enough. He can have enough potential. We are not showing it yet. He's not showing it yet. Um, and I think that's what worries Shaquille a little bit. He looks lost. He looks like a guest in his own house. If you can get your head around that, I don't know if I'm explaining myself, but he's got a lot to prove in summer league, and I hope he does. I like the kid. Um, he's showing that he can shoot the mid range. If he can get a 3-point shot, he would be more useful in the league. He shows signs of athleticism, but his explosiveness, it just comes and goes, comes and goes. It's not something that it's consistent. So he's got to work on that, and he's got to make sure that he shows that little things, being active on the floor, and that would wow a little bit the scouts. I don't know if he's switchable on the defense. I don't know how his defense really works. For what I've seen, he could be good. I something I don't like is that I don't see him limping. Uh, his hops. I know he's got them, but he doesn't use them that much. So I don't know. I don't see him aggressive enough, but that could be something fixable. And I think his father, Shaquille, as I think myself, that in college he could develop that quicker than anywhere else. But the G League does some amazing stuff. So if he gets a shot at the G League, you know, the better. Now, I wanted to talk about the mid-level exception, right? Mo Bamba, it comes to mind. He can stretch the floor. He can rebound. He's athletic, and I would, put him by AD because if AD attracts the defense, he can, the 4-out 1-in offense, which is the one that it's going to be run um, with a lot of curls, but still, if you have uh, bigs that can shoot the three, that will work a lot better. Um, so I see how Cole Sweater could bring something, interesting to that. But as Sharif O'Neal, Cole Sweater, they have to develop the show that they can do picks really well. Mo Bamba, I think he's good enough on that. Defensively, he can defend the rim, but the big question mark is who are going to be the veteran minimum guys, or if they are going to use the mid-level exemption to keep um, um, to keep I, I I don't believe I have to look for his name because um, right. All right. So well, we bring DJ Agustin back. I don't know. Malik Monk. Will they use the wait? Yeah. Well, they use the extension to keep Malik Monk, um, the mid level, or will they actually get Kyrie Irving? That I still scratching my head on that one. I don't know if that is possible. Um, I see Mac McClung as part of the roster. I don't know if that's going to stay that way because he is a two-way player, and they just signed a other two-way players, and you can only have two. So Mason Jones and uh, Mac McClung would have to be a regular part of the roster, or they won't be there. Of course, these contracts are non-guaranteed. Um, um, DJ Agustin is not the best defensive guy, but he fits with the offense. So I don't know if they are going to keep him. Um, Believe it or not, Russell Westbrook could fit with the 4-1 offense if it's almost like a 5-out. Like if the dunker spot moves a little bit closer to the free throw line, not all the way there, but closer, um, he could um, serve as a passer, as a he could try to score from coming from a curl uh, with some other passer on the dunker's spot. Usually, the passer in the 4-and-1, it's the one inside, the one in the dunker spot or whatever the spot exactly is. Um, and so, Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and even Westbrook, if you move it up a little bit, can do that. And they can do that because if you don't double team them, they can go all the way to the basket and score. And in the case of Russell Westbrook, he can still pass the ball in the air because he is aside of whatever you want to say, he is a good passer. So, I'm not defending Westbrook. I don't think he can get a worse season than the one he had, and still he made a lot of triple doubles. And I know, what you guys may think that it's all it's all his stuff, but it's just the way he is. All right. Now, that's all for now. If I see any news that I want to comment on today, I will be back. Please support this channel by subscribing, give a thumbs up, and share it if you can. And if you don't like the way we have content here, you're always welcome to do the comments. I'm not afraid of whatever you have to say. Be mindful, though, that there are some laws here that actually might not allow your comments or something like that. I don't know how that works. I don't care. I don't care. And I learn from everything. So if you want to do a harsh comment, do the harsh comment. I want to know how you feel about it. So it's important to me. All that is important to me. I can kind of tweak myself around that. So let's say goodbye. I wish you, may God bless you. Take care of each other and yourself, and go Lakers. Bye-bye.